Hi everybody, this is Judy Garza from Victoria, Texas, coming tonight for the first of, I hope, a long stretch of Friday evening videos. So tonight we wanted to start by showing how to stamp on a candle, and I'll show you several that I've already done. So we'll give a few minutes for some people to get on here. I have to tell you that I'm not adept enough to watch the comments or even see the comments while this live video is going on. I'm pretty new to this, so you'll have to just bear with me if I have some glitches along the way. So because it's 7:30, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. As you saw above, I posted this candle that I did the other night, and although I like it, it's done on a vanilla looking off-colored white candle, and really the stamping didn't show up as vibrant as I wanted it to. So tonight we're going to do the same thing, but it would be good if I had a candle. Just a minute. Okay, so these are just some candles that I got at the big box store, and these are, it says 3x6 white. So I think that our stamping is going to show up better on this one. Now these are wax candles. They I wouldn't advise probably lighting them because we will have some tissue paper on them, unless you're going to be watching them very closely. So what I have is some tissue paper, just tissue paper that you wrap gifts with. And you see when I cut it, I got it on some sticky stuff, so I don't want to use that. That's why the X is there. And so what I want to do is just go ahead and stamp with regular ink. The basic gray is what I'm going to use tonight. Okay, and I'm just going to pick out a spot here that's pretty smooth. Okay, and stamp sort of in the middle of that. Okay, now on this in particular tissue paper, I find that one side is more of a matte finish than the other. The other side is a little more like the glossy. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. I imagine it's kind of hard, but this is a more matte finish, and I opt to stamp on the matte finish side. I don't know that there's any rule about that, but I think it just holds the ink better. And I'm just going to use a plain old kitchen scissors and cut this apart so I'm not dealing with all of the tissue paper. All right. And then to color this, I'm going to use Stampin' Blends. Now you can stamp images in different colors, and you can actually use your Stampin' Right markers to ink up the rubber and have multicolored image stamped on here, and that would be fine too. So I am using tonight the Light and Dark Pool Party, Light Daffodil Delight, the Dark Real Red, some olive for the skin, and some dark petal pink, because again we're going to use the petal pink ribbon. It's called organdy striped ribbon. And although I like that, I thought I'd try something new, and maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. I haven't actually tried it in real life yet, but I'm doing it tonight. So I'm going to put some of our gold ribbon behind it, and so when it's on the candle, it's going to be kind of glistening. We hope that'll work. Okay, so for coloring, I always use the nib tip. And of course you want something underneath your tissue paper, because this will go right straight through, as did the stamping. Okay, and so I'm just going to kind of go where they have the highlights on here, and all the rest is going to get the light. Be kind of nice if I could talk and do it at the same time, right? Okay, so then she's going to be a blonde. I don't know what color Angel's hair are, but in my world they're blondes and light brunettes. I don't know. Or if they even have hair at all, actually, really. Okay. And we're going to put a little red bird in her hand. Oh, I see some of the angel wings that I forgot. That other wing back there. I'll call it her hind wing over here. Okay. Then I'm going to color her hand and her face and her neck. I think that's all of that that's showing. And then we're just going to put some highlights with the petal pink, the dark petal pink, on her flowing angel robe. Okay. You can't see my hands shaking, I'm sure, right? Oh, well. It'll get better. God bless you for being on my first one. Okay. And also I was wondering if I decided to put on some Winkostella, if that would show. So there's no time like the present to try it. So I'm going to go ahead and Winkostella her whole outfit here. Now I'm really not sure that this is going to show. Because to put this onto the candle, we're going to be utilizing some wax paper and the heat tool. And so we're not going to actually glue this onto the candle in any way or form, but instead we are going to use the wax paper and melt that onto the candle so that the wax covers the image. And that's why we're using this tissue paper instead of, you know, like some designer paper or something. because this is very, very, very thin. Okay, so let's see how she's going to turn out. I think she's going to look great. I just don't know if after all this, ooh, that made it kind of wet. I don't know if after all said and done that we're going to be able to see that Winka Stella. Now I'm just going to take my scissors and trim off a whole bunch of this that I don't need. And I'm going to get kind of close, but not too close. We're not trying to cut it out perfectly, just to trim it up a little bit. So once we get this on, I'll show you some other candles that I've made over the years, and they will really date me because some of you might remember the stamp sets. Oops. But they stayed together very well over the ages. Okay, so now I'm just going to position that here. I know this kind of had a little imperfection over here, so I'm going to put that in the back. All right. And then I just have regular wax paper. And I'm going to want that to be okay, about this tall. And you're saying, wow, why do you need such a long piece? Well, I'm going to actually go all the way around the candle with the wax paper. See, that already has a little booger on it. I'll try to move that aside too. Okay. I guess I wasn't too careful in picking out my candle. But it's not going to matter. It's not going to show. I'm going to get this up a little higher than down because we're going to add that ribbon to the bottom. Now I'm just going to put this wax paper over it. Now you'll know that wax paper has wax on both sides, and I'm going to pull it as tight as I can around. Oops. It's not cloth, it's paper. Be careful. Okay. And I'm going to hold it as tight as I can there. I'm going to get as many of the creases out. Now I'm sorry, but I have to run the heat tool for a little bit to make sure it's hot, because I don't want to leave it too long to melt the candle and make that pretty ugly. So it's just going to be hot and get it on there and get it off. So I hope you can see how it turns. It's kind of like embossing, but different, right? So I think you can see the shine coming on where I'm melting the wax. I find that these are kind of nice for a teacher gift. If he has kids in school, you get a couple of candles for $5.99 or so. And tissue paper is next to nothing. Okay, so after you heat that very well, okay, then I'm going to let it cool down just a little bit. I have her going backwards. Oh well. She's looking the opposite way, that's okay. And then I'm going to peel it off. And when I do, you can no longer see where the tissue paper starts and the candle ends. Okay? And when I feel it, there's wax all over her. So give that a try. It's very, very easy. And now I'm going to try to make a bow with this double. Oof. I don't know how this is going to work. You know, not all my great ideas work out so well for me, but let's see if I can't get it. Probably not. I'll kind of mess with it just a little bit. Yeah, no, I probably will not keep that on there. Probably take the gold off from behind it, unless afterwards I can fiddle with it and get it to look right. Let's see. All right. And you have to love my candle holder. It's maybe a Crown Royal drink coaster, but it's pretty. And we don't need 6 of those, we only need 5. Right? Okay, so there you have it, and that's how you do it. I said I would show you a couple more. This one is the oldest one that I made. I actually just stamped a wreath on tissue paper, and now years later you can just barely start to see a little lifting right here. But then I put the rhinestones on and they stayed. And then back here too, I just did a Merry Christmas and a little other image that was in the set. Okay, and a couple of years ago we had these 3 blind mice, and so I decided to have them go around the candle, but I should have put them up a little bit more so I could put a ribbon or something, but they turned out cute anyway, and they look fine on the anything on a silver coaster looks great, right? So that's how they turned out. Now this was a little bit more tedious because you had to stamp them and then color each one of them, so it took a while. Now next week, or sometime in the near future, I wanted to try bedazzling a candle. I did one when we had these little beads. Do you remember the little beads that we had? And to do this, it wasn't too bad. So I'm going to try it with our new, they're the sequins without the holes in. I can't remember the name of them right now, but we'll see about that next time. So I don't want to keep you any longer on a Friday evening. I want you to get a good start to your weekend, and maybe that's something you can try in your craft room. Feel free to visit my blog. It's at creativityreleased.com. And have a great weekend. See you next week at 7:30 Central Time. Bye-bye.